Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got one here from a Panzerkampf and 1/72 scale diecast. We have ourselves a Dassault Rafale, and our particular aircraft is a Dassault Rafale B, which is the two-seater variant from the French Air Force's ECE 330 Cote d'Argent. I have probably butchered that. I apologize to any of my French viewers. Now, this aircraft is in a Tiger Meet livery. Let's have a little look if we open up the box here. And that is that awesome looking Rafale sitting in there. And boy, it does look pretty cool. It does have some specifications in there. Now, this Rafale would attend that 2009 NATO Tiger Meet, which was held in Belgium of that year, wearing that striking livery. What we'll do, though, is instead of worrying about this box, we'll get this box open so we can check out this awesome aircraft in the metal. Let's go do that right now. All right, with this two-seater Dassault Rafale B out of the box, it does come in a little baggie that does look to have the landing gear options in there. We'll get this cover off and have a little look. So, whoa, that looks absolutely awesome. So obviously it does have some tank, some ordnance there. It does have, okay, a stand and some instructions in there, which is pretty cool. We'll get that out if it'll let us. So it does look to have some comprehensive instructions, which we will quickly open. So this is the instructions that you get. It's not exactly huge, obviously, but it's, you know, big enough to, you know, show you what you need to do. So that does look pretty cool. So if you have one of these, don't have any instructions, remember, whack it on pause. All right, let's get to this cool looking aircraft right in here. Oh, it does come out really easy. That is absolutely great. It's always been a bit weird with these Panzerkampf ones. They do feel a little bit light, but boy, the overall livery looks fantastic. We'll move this box out of the way so we can check out this aircraft straight from the box before we do any assembly. That black and yellow scheme there, that tiger livery, whew, that looks absolutely awesome. One thing I've got to say, though, with these Panzerkampf ones is the details are fantastic. They do a lot of shading on their aircraft, and that looks really good. These do actually move, so the canards move around. Yes, the canopy does open to sort of show you a little bit of detail in there. It doesn't open. That's sort of as far as it opens. That's as much of the detail you'll be able to see, I suppose. Close that back down. The overall finish on it is very nice. But as I say, it's always that light feel with these. It's got some nice engine detail. The tail marking is the same as on the other side. That looks pretty cool. So be very careful of that refueling probe, that you don't knock that off, especially if you've got sausage fingers like me. Let's have a little look underneath here. Wow, that looks fantastic. Check out that detail. That is pretty good. The inking that they do really accentuates all those lines through there, but not overly so. I reckon it does come up nice. No, for sure. Well, what we'll do is we'll kit out this Rafale for in-flight, and we'll come back to make you in-flight guys happy. All right, back in a second. All right, with this Tiger Meet aircraft set up for in-flight, fairly straightforward. You put the tiniest of nose wheel gear bay doors there. That is really small, as you can see, size of my finger. Trying to put that on. A little bit tricky, but depending on how small your fingers are. There is a little gear bay door here that you'll be putting on either side there. But as you can see, those two little holes there, those are holes for when you have it in gear down. That's where that little door goes into. So you can quite visibly see those when you have it in flight, which is, depending on how fussy you are, could be annoying for you. But then you put the ordnance on, so it does have a slot there, but you don't use that. You put your missiles in on either side there. You do have some tanks that you need to put on, and of course there's missiles that go into these slots right here, but they don't push home very well. I tried pushing hard. It is quite hard to get them to fit. So I like to do these straight out of the box sort of reviews. So if you fold that down a little bit, it'll probably get it to fit a little bit better. One thing I did notice is with those tanks, they're identical. So the writing, like when you put it on this side, the writing is on the correct side. And then when you put this tank on, the writing is on the inside, which you don't see. So when you have the aircraft like that, you're not going to see the writing as to where you have it like that. I don't know if that's correct to the actual aircraft itself, but it does seem to be a little bit odd. I would thought that writing would be on the outside of the tank on both tanks, not on the inside. So I don't know if that's a whoopsie from Panzerkampf or if that's how they did it. So if you know for sure, feel free to drop a comment, of course, in below. But overall, in flight, it does set up reasonably well. It does look nice. The livery itself is quite striking, but I reckon it does look very nice. And of course, if you do want to put it on the stand, you're going to have to take your central fuel tank off. This is the stand that you do get. It is all metal. You have to screw it together, and then you've got a little plastic piece on the top. So I suppose we just need to take... This was very tight to put on, so you got to take that piece out. As you can see how tight that is, it's not wanting to come out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, jeez. Come on. Hey, got that out. So look forward to that. And then you put it like so for the stand, and that is your in-flight. And there goes a little gear bay door. They didn't set in properly either. They were quite loose, as you saw. That's why that one dropped out. But that is your Rafale B set up for in-flight. The incline of the stand is quite steep. So if you like to have your aircraft flying up like that, it will suit you perfectly. But this is how your aircraft will look in flight. So look, with a couple of little issues here and there, overall it's nice. It looks very nice, but it does have a couple of little minor issues, depending on your fuss level, of course. And that's what these videos are all about, so you can check them out and make your own mind up. So what we'll do, though, is we'll chuck some landing gear on this and come back and check out this aircraft Geardown so we can wind up this video for you. All right, we are back with Geardown. Boy, the landing gear itself, they're plastic, but there's two holes inside that gear bay wheel well, and you've got to get the struts to line up together, and they aren't very well aligned, so you've got to try and push, get them in both holes, and yeah, real pain in the ass. It was really frustrating. It's taken me quite a few goes to get these to seat in their positions, especially when the undercarriage itself, the holes and the struts didn't line up properly to push them in. So you got to push one in the hole and then manipulate this around until the other one slips into the hole that's in the wheel well. It is a pain in the butt. The actual gear bay doors that are in the open position are loose. They don't like to sit there very well. So you put those in first, and then while you're trying to get your main wheel to fit in, half the time those drop out. And you can't put those back in when you've got the wheel and the landing gear there because, well, not with these fingers anyway, because you've got to put those small pieces on first, and then you can play around with your main wheel. So, yeah, Geardown is a little bit sort of frustrating. Well, on this model it was, so, well, my model. The front nose wheel, it's just two tiny little gear bay doors that you got to put in, and then that front nose wheel. That is plastic as well, and it is very, very fragile. As you can see, you just touch it and it drops out. So it is not the best Geardown I've ever experienced. I do need to get myself a Hobby Master one, and hopefully that'd be a lot better because the way it's set up is not 100%. I'm definitely not 100% happy with it. I'll try and move that out of the way, but it's almost fouling on that tank as well. We'll see what drops off if I do turn it over. But yeah, the Geardown option is a little bit disappointing, but hey, at least you can put your tank back on, and that is such a tight fit, that tank. So it can be a great model. This, if they had made the landing gear out of metal, so it's a little bit easier to put in and a little bit more reliable to fit in there, that would have been so much better. But unfortunately, they did not. It does sit nicely on the landing gear. It is probably lucky that these are quite a light die-cast model, because the plastic landing gear there, I don't know how it would go if it was a bit of a heavier aircraft. It Could have been absolutely fantastic, this one, but there is a couple of little issues with it. Well, my model anyway. I'm not 100% sure if it goes through the whole range, but yeah, the landing gear probably its biggest sort of downfall. And same with in flight, when you can see the gear down holes when it's in flight. But anyway, look, overall, it's not a bad model. I don't mind it at all. Livery is very striking, does look lovely. The finish on it is quite nice. But these also, for me in Australia, can be quite expensive. So if I'm paying some really good money, I want things to go in very nicely. And the same with that fuel tank, with the writing on both tanks on the same side for either one. But anyway, that is what the video is for you to check this out as well and make your own mind up and decide what you want to do about whether you want to grab one of these or not. And with that, I will wind up by saying if you enjoyed the video at all, found it helpful in any way, throw some of those somewhere down there. And of course, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'll take some photos of this, of course, and chuck them at the end of the video if you feel like checking out some detailed pics. So once again, thank you so much for spending your valuable time in checking out another one of our videos. I hope you enjoyed this Rafale B from Panzerkampf today. All right, you all have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Cheers.